Hey everyone, today I'm going to be sharing my favorite one-bag travel packs in 2024. I've been a big fan of one-bag travel for a long time now, as it can be a really convenient way to travel, and these are the options that I tend to reach for first when I'm going to be taking just one item that I'm placing into an overhead storage compartment. And this is always an intimidating video for me to make because there's so many different options on the market nowadays that are really great, and there's so many different styles of packing and travel. And so I've selected the ones that fit my packing style and needs the best. And I have some newer options that have come out this year, as well as some classic options that I've been talking about over the past couple of years that have, just really kind of stood the test of time. So really excited to dive in. Before doing so, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The Allpa pack from Cotopaxi is one of the bags that I see most often when I'm traveling around the world, and after having a chance to test it out, I can definitely understand why it's become so popular. It's offered in a couple of different sizes. There's a 28-liter size, a 42-liter size, and then the 35-liter version that I have here. It's got very rugged exterior material, so really weather resistant, durable, regardless of how you're tossing it around during your trips. YKK zippers. Cotopaxi has some really interesting and unique color combinations. That's one of the things that really makes the bag stand out to me. When I'm out and about, you can definitely recognize Cotopaxi's bags very easily. They also have, the distinctive logo. And so I really like kind of the unique and fun aspect of their bags, but they also offer a lot of functionality, particularly with these updated editions of the Allpa packs. You still have a couple of attachment points along the exterior, handle at the top, on the sides. And then you now have an external water bottle pocket, which offers a nice amount of space for, the types of things that you might carry there. And the harness system on this is really, really well done. You have very comfortable, breathable padding on the back. You have a luggage pass-through. You have the ability to stow the straps away. So if you're gonna be placing this into an overhead storage compartment, you can do so. The straps offer a nice amount of padding, comfort. You also have the integrated waist belts, so you can't remove this, but the way that this is implemented, I think, works well if you're carrying the bag with a lot of weight over a longer period of time. This really does feel like it's going to help pull that weight off your shoulders. Nice amount of padding here on the waist belt. Then you have an external laptop compartment, and this isn't necessarily suspended off the bottom of the ground. It does offer a nice amount of padding, so I do wish that this had been pulled up a little bit more, but still good amount of space for your laptop and maybe an additional device. Cotopaxi also has some of these loops throughout to give you a little bit of theft deterrence, which is great on a travel backpack. Then you have some nice quick access pockets. This is a newer pocket with the updated edition, so you have that extra ability to reach some of those smaller items, great for going through TSA. Then you have another quick access area that's a little bit more voluminous, which is great. You can toss in, liquids, jackets, a variety of tech accessories, larger headphones. You have a little bit of internal organization here, so not going overboard, but the pocketing that's offered is very useful. Then you have the ability to properly lock the main compartment, and you have a suitcase style opening here, and the bag has two kind of primary segments. And this layout, I think, is what makes the bag so great, particularly for people who are maybe a little newer to one bag travel, because it offers some segmentation, but it's going to adapt to a variety of packing styles, which I really like. So you have one large main compartment here. It's got the zipper divider to compress things down and just keep the bag a little bit more organized, where I was able to store my Peak design packing cubes, the larger and the smaller one. No issues there. And then you have a smaller zippered pocket here and an additional section, which I absolutely love because this goes all the way to the top. So even though it has a smaller zippered opening, it still gives you that flexibility if you want to store something taller, like the Tortuga Day Pack Pro, my packable backpack that I'm using in this video. I also have an additional packing cube from Patagonia, and I have my dop kit tucked away here at the top. So this is going to adapt depending on how you use the space in the front or in this main area, but that flexibility just makes it very, kind of functional for a variety of packing styles. So very durable, very spacious, and if you're looking for a travel backpack that's comfortable, that's going to have a useful layout, a lot of space, and just kind of a unique, playful personality, then the Allpa pack is going to be a great option to take a look at. The Pakt Design Travel Backpack never ceases to impress me with its sleek style and the sheer number of features that it includes. This is a really popular one bag travel option. It's got a very great build quality. Here I have the newer X-Pack collection in the Coyote colorway that I reviewed on the channel. So I'm always a big fan of X-Pack for its weather resistance and durability. It is offered in other fabrics, and Pakt Design always has some really high quality bags, very well protected, smooth working zippers on these. And the aesthetic is very futuristic, techie, stylish, which I think makes it unique. It stands out. When you're traveling, it may attract a little bit more attention than I typically like, just with how nice and kind of modern looking it is. But not a huge deal, just something you want to keep in mind depending on where you're traveling. And then the sizing here, this comes in at about 35 liters with the ability to expand and compress. And because of the layout that this has, it is able to hold a very impressive amount. And on the exterior, you have a ton of really great functionality. The dual external water bottle pockets that can also work for handling something like a tripod. Pakt Design has a really great compact tripod that works nicely. And then you have these attachment points along the exterior that pair with a variety of straps that are included with the bag. So you can use them to hold yoga mat, sweater, sleeping bag, other camera accessories. You can configure them in a variety of ways along the front, on the bottom. So I've always really liked the flexibility that provides. And then you have really nice handles on the top of the bag, on the sides, on the bottom. So giving you a lot of options for just kind of maneuvering the bag depending on where you're storing it. And then Pakt Design's harnesses always have a unique implementation. The padding on these is not as robust as I typically like to see for a bag of this size, especially because this is a little bit of a heavier bag. So this is always kind of a trade-off with the travel backpack from Pakt Design that I've come to accept just because of all the other functionality that it offers, but definitely, something to keep in mind. There are unique kind of hinges here that allow the shoulder straps to move and also still weigh easily when you need to. You have a sternum strap. You also have an integrated waist belt, which slides out. This system is very interesting and well implemented. I don't use this waist belt a ton, but it's great that it actually pops out easily when you need it. On the back, you also have a decent amount of padding. Again, not as robust and breathable as some of the other travel bags that I tend to use, but it still gets the job done. And then you have the luggage pass-through. This can also work as a handle. And then taking a look at the organizational layout, you have a nice quick access pocket on the front. And then this is one of the bags that, like the GR2, and in some ways the Aer Travel Pack 3, has kind of a secondary clamshell compartment, which I'm always a fan of, as this just gives you some extra segmentation for the items that you're carrying. So this goes all the way down, great amount of space there. And then you have the internal organization, zippered pockets, a couple of slip pockets, and on the other side, again, some additional pockets, as well as a divider that you can unzip to access the primary storage area, or you can roll it up if you just want to have one large clamshell style compartment. And one of the really cool aspects about this bag is the fact that you are able to access the main area from the sides. And so this pairs very nicely with Pakt Design's ecosystem of camera accessories. It's a very camera friendly travel bag. You can reach in, grab your camera quickly when you need to. So very cool, unique implementation there. Another cool aspect of the Pakt Design bags is the zipper pulls that have the ability to lock into each other to give you some additional theft deterrence. And then you have the clamshell style opening to give you access to the main area, and the laptop compartment. So you have a very spacious padded laptop sleeve here. It's pulled up off the bottom. And then for this main area, I really like that it's just a big bucket of space. So I'm able to store a packable backpack here. I also have the Patagonia packing cube, dop kit, and then Pakt Design's medium and small compression packing cubes, which all fit in there very comfortably. And on the inside, you can see some of the attachment points that are meant to pair with Pakt Design's accessories to secure them into place. So it's always really nice how their ecosystem works well together. And then you have the little snap closures here. If you want to compress the bag down, you can do so to make it just a little bit less bulky when you're not carrying quite as much stuff. And then you have the ability to expand it as well with this zipper to give you some extra capacity when you need it. So, just a really full featured bag, really provides a lot of different functionality and options for organizing and accessing your stuff. And, just a very cool aesthetic. So if you're looking for something sleek, if you're gonna be carrying camera gear, if you're in the Peak design ecosystem, or you're just looking for a really kind of well-designed and unique one bag travel option, this is gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. The ULA Dragonfly is one of the bags that had been most requested on the channel over the past year. I had heard a ton of great things, so expectations were high when I finally had a chance to test this out. And I can definitely see why so many people in the one bag travel community love this bag. If you're looking at it from the outside, it might seem a little bit simplistic, and that's part of what makes it so great. It's got a little bit more of an outdoorsy technical feel. You have the bungee cord on the exterior, so you can use this to hold additional items that don't fit on the inside. You've got the dual external water bottle pockets that expand an impressive amount, some compression straps. You have the patch that you can use to personalize the bag, and then really nice carrying handle at the top. The bag that I have here is the 30-liter version of the Dragonfly, and as it was called out on the video that I did in the company's website, the 30-liter version for the main compartment is really around 24 liters, which is impressive when I think about how much I was able to squeeze into this compartment. They have released a 36-liter version of the Dragonfly, which I haven't had a chance to test out, but I can only imagine how much additional capacity that'll offer while maintaining the things that I really liked about this bag. So the 30-liter size that I have here, very capable as a minimal travel bag, personal item. It's offered in a couple of different fabrics. The one that I tried out was the Ultra Black Magic Edition, so very weather resistant, durable, and the weight of this bag is where it really shines. This is why people love it. It's one of the most lightweight options, which is great when you're traveling abroad for airlines that have stricter limits. So this is gonna be one of the best options to check out if weight is one of your top priorities. And then you still have, a pretty comfortable harness system. Considering the weight of the bag, you have decent amount of padding on the straps, breathability, you have padding on the back paneling, breathability there as well. It's not the most robust, but it's one of the trade-offs that you're gonna be making when you're looking for something of this style. You still have the sternum strap, and then the layout is also simple but functional. You have a great quick access pocket on the front. It's elastic, so it'll adapt to some interesting larger items if you need it to. Great quick access pocket at the top. A little clip to attach your keys or something like that, and to toss in things while you're traveling. And then you have a dedicated laptop area. It is pulled up off the bottom of the ground. Again, not the most kind of thick or robust, but still offers a good amount of padding for the benefits of the weight that you're getting. Aqua guarded zippers to give you that weather resistance, and then you have the kind of clamshell or duffel style opening that shows a very simple but effective bucket style main area. So currently I have same items here, my DOP kit, Patagonia packing cube, my Peak design, small and large packing cubes. All of that was able to squeeze in there. Then you do have compression straps with this bag if that's something that you like. I don't really use those too much, but they stay out of the way if you don't want to use them. Beyond that, very simple layout. This is what allows it to hold so much stuff and keep things really lightweight. And then on the lid, you have a couple of additional zippered pockets if you want to kind of distribute some smaller items, pouches and things like that. So really love the layout, the simplicity of this bag. And in my opinion, it does feel like it lived up to the hype. It's not the flashiest bag per se, but what it does very well. And if you're looking for a very versatile travel bag that's gonna offer a lot of savings as far as weight, then this is gonna be one of the best options to consider. Up next, we have the 32-liter Black Hole Pack from Patagonia. Patagonia has a couple of different bags that could have been part of this list. I actually did a comparison video recently if you want to check out bags like the Mini MLC and the MLC, but the Black Hole Pack has been the one that I've revisited the most recently because of the versatility that it offers to be both a travel backpack and something that I feel pretty comfortable using as a daily bag. The layout on this is also going to be a little bit different compared to many of the clamshell and suitcase style opening bags on this list. I wanted to offer something a little bit different, and so the Black Hole 32-liter pack was updated not too long ago, but it still retains the more kind of functional aesthetic of some of Patagonia's bags. So you have rows of webbing along the exterior, you have a couple of handles, and so it does feel like a more kind of outdoorsy, adventurous pack. I like that it has the dual external water bottle pockets. It has a weather resistant and durable fabric that also is pretty flexible. It's not overly heavy, which helps out for a travel backpack in particular. Then you have a comfortable harness system. It's not the most robust of the bags on this list, but it gets the job done as far as offering padding, breathability, you have the sternum strap, you have padding on the back, luggage pass-through if you're pairing this with a roller bag. But you know, what really impresses me about this bag is the 32-liter capacity. So it's a little bit smaller than some of the 35 and 40-liter bags that I'm talking about in this list, but because of the layout that it has, it feels like it can hold as much, if not a little bit more than some of them. And so before I get into the main compartment, first up, you have a couple of quick access pockets, one on the front, which is gonna be great for those items that you're grabbing regularly. You have an excellent top quick access pocket, which is huge, so it'll be able to handle a variety of pouches, you know, other tech accessories if you have headphones. I absolutely love the flexibility that this provides. You have a dedicated laptop compartment to make it easy to get your device in and out while you're going through TSA. And then you have the kind of bucket style main area. So that's what I was talking about earlier, that this is not a clamshell bag. This is one of those that you can just kind of stuff a ton of things into it, and it just seems to continue to always offer a little bit of space because this is a pretty simple layout. And then the flexible materials, I was really impressed that I was able to easily add my Peak Design packing cube. I have the smaller one, I have the Patagonia packing cube, then I have the larger packing cube. All of those fit in there comfortably. And then this is a bag that, even though it's 32 liters, when it's emptier, it doesn't feel that bulky. So this is something that I've used for walking around once I arrive at my destination. It still, you know, adapts to kind of what I'm carrying with me. I've used it, you know, as just a smaller bag as opposed to carrying a separate packable bag. So I didn't add the Tortuga day pack backpack here because if I was traveling with this in a one bag setup, this would actually be the only option that I would take. So, you know, just a little bit of a different option to consider. The black hole backpacks are quite popular. I do see these a lot when I'm traveling. And if you're a fan of Patagonia, or you're just looking for something that's gonna give you that extra bit of flexibility as far as, you know, being big, but not overwhelmingly big, then this is gonna be an excellent option to consider. Although I really like the original version of the Pakt Travel Backpack, V2 really took it to the next level. It's now available in two sizes. There's a 35-liter size and a 45-liter size. Here I have the 35-liter version, which I've featured in multiple videos over the past year because this has been one of the travel bags that I continue to come back to. I really love the subdued aesthetic that this has, just something that's gonna blend in well into a lot of different environments and not call a ton of attention to itself. And, you know, very rugged materials on the exterior, YKK zippers, and on the outside you have a water bottle pocket, which is really nice. You have attachment points that pair with some compression strap to allow you to just kind of adapt to a variety of different gear that you might want to carry with you. So those tuck away here into the side, so you do have the ability to just kind of adapt the bag based on what you need. You have some great handles on the top, on the bottom, so very easy to load this into a variety of spaces. You have dual handles on the side that pair well with the layout that we'll take a look at in a little bit. And then 35-liter size is something that, you know, I think works well, particularly with the silhouette that this bag offers. And it also actually has the ability to expand. This was designed in conjunction with a packable backpack, which, you know, is really great, and it fits nicely into this compartment. This can also hold other accessories or other bags. This is perfect for the Tortuga Day Pack Pro, which I've been featuring throughout this video. It's kind of the go-to packable bag for me at the moment. So that slides in there very nicely. You can see how this has expanded out. And then if you don't need to carry an additional bag, or you just want to save some space, you can compress it back down. So really great to see how that was sort of incorporated here. And then the harness system with this addition has been improved. I find the style of harness quite comfortable, very robust padding here, lots of support. I like how the straps have a good amount of articulation here. You have the load lifters, you have an additional, you know, kind of place to hang the bag if you need to. Good padding distributed throughout the back. You have a luggage pass-through. Pakt, of course, has a little unique pouch here at the bottom that's meant to hold your stuff while you're going through TSA, so a nice touch there. You do have the ability to stow the straps away, and there is a waist belt that you can attach and remove. I typically, you know, prefer just not to use it because it's not a very robust waist belt, but for stability, some people might like it. And then the organizational layout. This is something that just works so well. On the outside, you have these quick access pockets that have a good amount of dedicated volume, which makes them just very useful for pouches and other gear that you might be carrying. And then you have a little bit of internal organization, some mesh pockets, got a little magnetic pocket, a place for your pen, a stylus, you even have an air tag pocket. And then you have the very unique split opening. Before opening that up, one of the things that I really like about this bag is that you actually have access from the top to both segments of the bag, so you can quickly grab stuff that you need without opening it all the way up. But once you're ready to unpack or just kind of see everything all at once, you do have a zipper that goes all the way around. Then you have the handles that allow you to kind of pick this up, move it around. And this layout is something that's definitely not going to be for everybody. It's very interesting how it's been implemented. Specifically with the laptop section, you do have a padded laptop sleeve that lies in the middle of the two segments, which can provide some additional padding and protection. It's a well padded compartment. It's very spacious, so be able to, handle a variety of devices. I, have adapted more and more to this laptop compartment. It's still maybe not my favorite, although I do like the idea that your clothing and other items protect your laptop. It's still something that gives me a little bit of anxiety if I overpack both of the compartments. But once you get over the learning curve with kind of figuring out how this layout can work for you, it's really, really useful. You have, the two dedicated sections. On one side, I have a Patagonia cube and a dot kit. Again, you have the ability to access these sections from the top. And then on the other side, you have a mesh zipper divider. And this is where I have my Peak design packing cubes. I have the smaller one, I have the larger one, and those work pretty well. This is a bag that I could see working quite nicely without packing cubes. So if you roll your clothes up and separate them out, it can work potentially even easier, but it still does work with a modular setup. Pakt has their own cubes. Then there's rows of webbing here that pair with some other pouches that they created with the release of this line. So very unique layout, very functional once you get used to it. And yeah, although it's not gonna be for everybody, if you're looking for something that's gonna offer just a really nice organizational layout and the ability to kind of organize and access your stuff in some unique and useful ways, then this is gonna be a really cool option to take a look at. Matador SEG series of bags are some of the most unique and underrated options in the travel bag category. They're offered in a couple of different sizes. I've talked about the 28 liter size a lot on the channel, as that is an option that I find very versatile, as I can use it for EDC for more minimal travel. They also have something in the 40 liter range, which is probably the one that I would consider for a list like this. I don't have that version with me, but the layout and the materials and a lot of the things are pretty much the same across the bag. So the 28 liter that I have here is kind of a placeholder to talk about some of the things that I like about this bag so much. The exterior materials are very lightweight, highly weather resistant, and they're flexible. So this bag will really adapt to a lot of different items that you're gonna be packing with you. Very well protected zippers all around the bag. And this does have a little bit more of a technical and outdoorsy aesthetic. You have, the compression straps, which are really unique and helpful. You have an external water bottle pocket. You have some nice handles that will allow you to pick this up and load it into an overhead storage compartment, into a trunk in a variety of different ways. It's got this unique sort of pop of gridded style here at the bottom, which I like. And then the harness system on the updated edition of the SEG bags is a big improvement over the original. So you have a nice amount of padding here. Feels like it's gonna offer a lot of support. You have a sternum strap, good padding on the back as well. And you have a luggage pass-through. You have a dedicated laptop compartment. It's suspended. It's not gonna be the most robust, and the opening is a little bit narrow for larger laptops, so that's something to keep in mind, but still very, very useful. The layout though is really where the bag stands out to me as far as the unique segmented organizational style. This is something I've talked about whenever I feature this bag, is how much I like this built-in packing cube setup. So you have compartments that have a variety of volumes and will adapt based on how you've loaded out the rest of the bag. So before I get into those, I'll actually talk first up about the fact that this does have a great quick access pocket at the top. So always very helpful for travel bags in particular. And then you have a duffel style opening. So you can just use this as kind of a regular travel bag. And because of its layout and its flexibility, it's gonna be able to hold a lot. Even this 28 liter size is able to handle most of the same items that the rest of the bags in this list have been handling. I didn't include the packable backpack in here because this 28 liter size would actually be the bag that I would use for my day-to-day, but still have the Patagonia cube, DOP kit, Peak Design compression cubes. Those fit in there very comfortably. And then I really love this open layout because this is a bag that I've used to transport shoes if I've had to take bulkier ones or larger clothes for colder climates. And then the built-in cubes adapt based off the items that you have in this main area. And so you have little labels to tell you how large the compartments are. Each of them offers an impressive amount of volume. So if you don't want to buy your own packing cubes, you can actually just store, different items depending on the space that's offered. So I've actually used this to separate out outfits. I've separated out categories. So I'll have underwear and socks in one, t-shirts, pants, or I'll have outfits for different days of the week. It's very fun to kind of play around with how to use this setup. And there's gonna be a lot of different options. So I know this won't be for everybody as it's a little bit more niche and unique, but if you're looking for something interesting that's gonna give you a lot of organization, and you're looking for something that's also gonna be very weather resistant, comfortable, this is gonna be an excellent option to consider. Bellroy had a ton of awesome new releases this year, which included their Lite Travel Pack series. As the name implies, these are meant to be lighter weight, but still very capable travel bags. They were released in two different sizes, a 30 liter size and a 38 liter size. And I really enjoyed using both versions of the bag. For this video, I have the 38 liter, which falls into that carry-on friendly, more spacious category that I would be using for a longer trip. And I really love the aesthetic of this bag. It's got kind of that rugged but still minimal aesthetic that Bellroy has been adding to a lot of their bags recently. And so it just blends in nicely, still very functional without going overboard on the technical side. And then you have some nice handles, one on the side, one on the top, very well protected, aqua guarded zippers on some of the key compartments, some attachment points so that you can clip on additional accessories, pair it with third-party straps, things like that. There's no external water bottle pocket on this one, which is one of the things that people have called out. And although that would have been great to see, the rest of the bag has been so awesome to use that, I'm kind of willing to accept that trade-off. And at 38 liters, this is able to hold more than enough for what I would need for a couple of weeks of travel. And because of the silhouette and the materials, which are a little bit more flexible, it doesn't feel overwhelmingly big. That was one of the things that really surprised me about the bag, as 38 liters can be pretty chunky, but this one never felt quite as bulky, which is always gonna be nice when you're traveling, particularly on stricter airlines. And then of course, the weight savings with the materials. Bellroy was able to achieve a really impressive weight to functionality ratio. So very, very cool to see. And then the harness system on this was also a newer one from Bellroy. One of my favorites, actually, of all the new bags they released. This has been the one that I've enjoyed wearing the most because of this soft, really cushiony padding. It's breathable. The back panel also has that same type of padding, so I've been able to wear this for a longer period of time without any issues. You have a sternum strap here, which you can adjust. You can hide the straps away if you need to. You've got a luggage pass-through, which is particularly helpful on the 30 liter size. And then you have a dedicated laptop area that is pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground. It's great that you can access this while you have this on your suitcase if you need to. And then the layout here is really, really useful. So you have a quick access pocket on the top with plenty of volume, especially with that flexible material. A little bit of internal organization, some slip pockets, a pen slot, a lanyard with a clip, and then you have another zipper quick access pocket on the front. And what's really cool about these is the volume that they offer. So, you can store something pretty sizable in here, pouches. I've been able to place one of my water bottles in here. The Slim Memo bottle is a great companion if you really want to have a water bottle with you. And so this is definitely the type of layout that speaks to me with its simplicity. And then you have, of course, the suitcase style opening so that you can access the main areas of the bag. And at the top here resting, I have Patagonia Packing Cube and the Tortuga Day Pack Pro, because with a 38 liter bag, I would still want to have a packable backpack. And then this layout is really cool. You have kind of the built-in packing cubes on one side, so plenty of volume in this mesh compartment. If I didn't already have cubes, I could store clothing and other items here. Then you have an additional, not mesh, but just, still voluminous compartment where I actually have my DOP kit, but it will adapt to hold a variety of different things. On the other side, then you just have the large spacious area that has the mesh zipper divider, and then my two Peak Design compressible packing cubes slide in there with no issues. And so, not really going overboard, but offering very functional, useful organization. And because of the flexible layout, it just really works well for carrying a ton of stuff. And if you're looking for, a bag that's gonna offer a minimal aesthetic and is gonna be more lightweight and still give you plenty of space and a nice layout, this is gonna be an excellent option to keep in mind. The Goruck GR2 was one of my original one bag travel loves. I've used it for a number of years now in a variety of different sizes, styles, and materials. The 34-liter size, however, continues to be what I would say is the sweet spot as far as a one bag travel option that can work well internationally as something you can place into an overhead storage compartment. And I recently had a chance to test out the Dyneema edition of the 34-liter GR2, which also has more of the kind of traditional Molly aesthetic of Goruck's bags. Now there's so many slick options available that it was nice to have a chance to kind of come back to the roots and check this version out, because when traveling, having the webbing can be a nice additional bit of flexibility if I want to clip things onto the exterior, add some pouches. And so, it worked very nicely. The Dyneema material, of course, is very rugged. It's a little bit lighter than Cordura and offers a nice amount of weather resistance. So it all kind of combined well into this original silhouette and size, which I was such a big fan of. So, not much here has changed as far as the layout with the dual compartments, the laptop compartment, the front quick access pocket. One of the biggest changes that was awesome to see is the top quick access pocket, which I've called out in many of the newer Goruck videos that I've done because it's super, super useful. So great to see that added here. And then with this 34-liter capacity and the dual compartment layout, you really have a ton of flexibility. This is one of the most unique aspects of the GR2 among many of the one bag travel options in this list, is having this secondary compartment that has its own sort of independent volume. It can hold something like a packing cube, an extra pair of shoes, and then you have some built-in zippered pockets. If you want to use those, you have the built-in field pocket, which at the moment is holding my DOP kit. That's how much space it offers. It can also work as kind of its own built-in DOP kit if you want. And you have, as I mentioned, the dedicated laptop compartment on the back, suspended, and you have a spacious main compartment that is also clamshell opening. And so here you have some additional zippered pockets built in, and then a large open space. With this 34-liter size, I can fit a packable backpack. So here I have the Tortuga Day Pack Pro, which is one of the newer packable bags that I've really liked as of late. And then I have a couple more packing cubes. I have a packing cube from Patagonia here, as well as the other Peak Design compressible packing cube. All of that fits in there nicely without feeling overwhelmingly stuffed. You still have a slip pocket on the back, some rows of webbing on the inside. So the layout that I've known and loved for many years, upgraded with a couple of nice touches like the Dyneema fabric, the quick access pocket. Regardless of the fabric that you get though, if you're looking for something durable and flexible, the GR2 is going to be one of the most reliable options that you can get. Tortuga is a well-known brand in the travel backpack community with a couple of options that could have been part of this list. I really appreciate the simplicity of their Lite travel backpack, but I ultimately went with the Pro version of their 40-liter travel pack, as this is a really rugged, premium one bag travel option. It has a really weather-resistant shell fabric, which is very sleek, durable. You have the aqua-guarded YKK zippers. And 40 liters, this is able to hold an impressive amount of stuff. You have the subtle branding here. You have some nice handles on the side, on the top, very cushioned, nice feeling. You have external water bottle pockets on each side. And then the area where Tortuga really shines is in their harness systems. They typically have some of the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable harnesses, and that trend continues with this bag here. I really love the padding that they've included on the straps, on the back paneling, just really supportive, comfortable, breathable material. You have plenty of elevation here to create this air channel. So Tortuga really continuing to hit it out of the park in this department. You have the load lifters at the top, which I know a lot of people like for bags of this size. And then one area that's very interesting about the Pro version of their travel backpack is that you have the ability to adjust the harness's height to better match up with your height. So you can raise it, you can lower it, and really tweak it so that it's the most comfortable carry that you can get. Beyond that, the bag also includes a removable but very comfortable waist belt that also has a couple of pockets here. This is another area where Tortuga always integrates these nicely. I'm glad that I can remove them, even though I actually like their waist belt quite a bit. I still prefer not to use them if I can avoid it, and so I can just leave that off. And then the layout on this is also, really well thought out. You have a quick access pocket on the front with the vertical zipper, so you can swing the bag around. No internal organization here, just a pretty simple compartment. You have a top quick access pocket, which is always very important for me when traveling. A little lanyard with a clip here to hold them, TSA safe multi-tool, your keys. Then you have a dedicated laptop compartment, which is well padded. It's suspended off the bottom of the ground. You have a dedicated tablet and laptop sleeve that have this soft lining. I like that you have dedicated spots for each one, and they both feel like they're gonna offer a nice amount of protection. And then you have a zipper here to hold maybe your chargers or other tech accessories. Then you have a secondary larger admin area, which is lockable. And even though it's not full clamshell, it does extend to the bottom, so it gives you that extra flexibility that I always like with these bags to store larger items on the outside of the main compartment. So here I have my DOP kit as well as the Patagonia packing cube, just to demonstrate the space that's offered there. But you also have some nice organization here, zippered pocket, which is great for items that you don't want falling into the bottom of the bag. A couple of slots for business cards and other kind of card shaped items that you're grabbing regularly, a few pen slots, slip pocket here that's elastic, and then another slip pocket here that has a soft lining, so good for maybe something like an e-reader or your phone. And then the main compartment has a suitcase style opening, also lockable, and plenty of space here, very simple layout. So in this main segment, I have my Peak design packing cubes, larger and smaller compressible cubes. Tortuga does have a set of packing cubes of their own, which is also really useful. And then on the other side, you have an additional section that's separated by this zippered divider here. And this is a perfect spot to store something like the packable backpack that I would be carrying with a bag of this size. So Tortuga's Date Pack Pro just slips in there very nicely. And yeah, not a super crazy layout here, but just covering the basics very well, giving you plenty of flexibility and space, as well as some of the other things that you might need, particularly if you're traveling for work or more of a digital nomad and you need some of your tech gear, protection for your laptop and tablet. This bag is really going to have you covered from the weather resistant front, from the durability, from the space. And if comfort is your top priority for a bag, then this is definitely going to be the option that I recommend you check out. The Aer Travel Pack is really the one that kicked off my love of one bag travel, and many years later, this continues to be one of the most, if not the most, well-rounded travel backpacks on the market. It's available in the 35-liter size that I have here and a 28-liter size. I'm a big fan of the versatility of the 28-liter size, as it can work well as a daily bag, but for one bag travel, this 35-liter size is really the sweet spot. It's able to hold all the items that I would need for a couple of weeks of travel, but because of the silhouette and the style that Aer brings to their bags, it never feels overwhelmingly big or bulky. It still just looks really sleek. I here have the Ultra version that was released as part of Aer's 10-year anniversary, which absolutely love this fabric, very rugged, weather resistant. But in any of the fabrics that it's available, the bag has been awesome. X-Pack ballistic nylon, it's gonna be rugged, it's gonna offer lots of weather resistance. They all have YKK zippers. And this one has some slight differences in the hardware as far as kind of the Hypalon zipper pulls, some of the buckles. But in general, many of the beats are the same that you'll find in all of the other iterations of the Aer Travel Pack 3. And so, really sleek, techie, modern exterior, which I'm a big fan of. You have some really great handles on the sides, on the top. You have one on the bottom, so you can really just kind of pick this up, load it easily into an overhead storage compartment, into a trunk. And you also have an external water bottle pocket that has a zipper to allow you to collapse it when it's not in use. I know some people aren't crazy about the style water bottle pocket. For me, this works well, as when I'm traveling, I never have a huge bulky water bottle with me. I just need a place to put something to grab it easily. And then I really like how Aer has continued to work on the compression straps. They've made improvements so that you can compress the bag down. You have these buckles that allow you to attach items on the exterior, but they don't impede the zipper on the main compartment. So that's really just great design. Many of the bags that have compression straps, you have to loosen them so that you can open the compartment up. Not the case here. So we'll take a closer look at that in a minute when I get to the main area. And you have just really nice organization with the Travel Pack 3. That's one of the areas where it stands out, particularly if you're kind of digital nomad, work travel, if you like to have a spot for all of the things that you're carrying. You have, zippered quick access pocket on the front, clip for your keys. Aer always does a really excellent job on the top quick access pockets. You have quick access pocket on the side. You have a dedicated laptop compartment that has a suspended and well padded sleeve. Aer does a great job on the tech protection and organization. Zippered compartment for chargers, accessories, and other things like that. And then this one has lockable zippers on many of the compartments. You have a larger admin compartment. The zippers go down a decent amount. It's not full clamshell style, but it does go all the way down. So you can almost treat this like a secondary packing area if you don't want to use all the organization that's included in here. At the bottom, it can hold something like a pouch, something a little bit bulkier. And then you have slip pockets. You have a slot for pens, for your headphones, zipper pocket for other smaller things that you don't want getting lost, taller slip pockets, so really nice variety of items. And then of course the clamshell style opening. As I was mentioning earlier, compression straps are clipped, but I can open it all the way. And then you have the spacious main compartment, which is able to hold the typical setup that I have. So a couple of packing cubes. Here I have the Patagonia cube opened up to just kind of make it flatter. And then packable backpack. Aer has some great options with their Go Pack 2, but here I have the Tortuga Day Pack Pro, which I'll be just kind of using throughout this video. And then I have my typical Peak design packing cube setup, larger compressible packing cube, smaller one. They fit in here very, very easily, no problems, because of the open, simple layout that this offers. And then on the inside, you have a little bit of additional organization. You have a spot to hide an air tag, and then on the lid, a couple of additional zippered pockets, something for a jacket, shirt if you want to separate that out. So, a very, very useful and popular travel backpack layout with the clamshell style opening, and then all of the various organizational options that are offered. So if you're looking to get into one bag travel and you're not really sure where to start, Aer's Travel Pack series offers just so many of the things that you'll want to have in a reliable one bag travel option. I forgot to call this out earlier, but the harness system on this is also one of the most comfortable, really well padded, breathable straps. Back panel, luggage pass-through, it's got the load lifters. You have the ability to add and remove a waist belt, for a larger bag like this. As it starts to get heavier, some people might like that. So it really feels like they thought of everything. And 3 iterations in, when people ask me what travel backpack they can look at, the Aer Travel Pack continues to be one of the first options that comes to mind. This 48-liter travel bag from Tomtoc has become quite popular over the past year because it comes in at a more budget-friendly price point without making a ton of compromises on quality and functionality. It's got a pretty rugged exterior nylon fabric, smooth working YKK zippers, and at 40 liters, it offers a really nice amount of capacity without going overboard, so it's still carry-on friendly. And then it just checks off a lot of the basics very well that you would expect from a one bag travel option. You've got a comfortable harness system, very breathable, well padded straps. They're not as rigid as some of the more premium options on this list, but so far I haven't had any issues when I've been wearing it for a longer period of time. You have a sternum strap, well padded, breathable back panel, good bit of elevation. You have a luggage pass through here. You don't have the ability to add a waist belt, but I haven't had any issues with that. You have a nice well padded handle at the top. You have a side handle that's not quite the same. So here's where you can start to see some of the differences with the pricing, but again, you still have on the top the really nice one, which is probably the one I would use most regularly with a bag like this. And then you have some good quick access pockets, one on the front, you have one on the top, so giving you the ability to get to what you need to quickly. You have an external water bottle pocket, and then you have a clamshell style opening that also provides access to the main compartment. So you have 2 ways of accessing this main compartment. You can access it here from the back. You also have this duffel style opening from the front. So this is very useful. So, depending on how you organize all of your stuff, you can get to it quickly if you want to open it from here. Use the compression straps to secure that a bit more, or to just tighten the bag when it's not quite as full. And then on the back you have a laptop and tablet sleeve that offer pretty decent amount of padding. They're pulled up off the bottom of the ground. Again, not a super rigid frame sheet or anything like that, but it'll still offer at least a little bit of protection. And then you have this divider that you can quickly pull up and access this spacious main area. Here I have packable backpack on the inside because I would want that if I'm traveling with a bag of this size. My 2 Peak Design compressible packing cubes. I have my Patagonia packing cube, and then I also have my DOP kit. So you can get a look there at the inside. Very simple, but that simplicity is really what allows it to hold a ton of stuff. So really like the layout and the functionality that's been included in this. It's really impressive that Tomtoc was able to offer this type of a bag at the price point that it comes in at. So although there's a lot of budget-friendly options that you can take a look at on the market, if you want something that's gonna be reliable, that's gonna offer a good feature set, and that's gonna come in at $100 or less, then this is gonna be the one that I recommend you check out. And so that's it. Those are some of my favorite one bag travel packs in 2024. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on the items that I featured in the video or suggestions for similar items that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to the dedicated reviews that I've done for the bags that I talked about in the video, as well as to some of the prior roundup videos that I've done where I've shared my favorite one bag travel packs in different years. So you can take a look at how the list has changed over time. But those also will feature some really great bags that maybe didn't make it onto this list. And I'll also include links to the other roundup videos that I've done where I talk about my favorite EDC bags, my favorite minimal travel bags that are in that smaller size range that are maybe a little bit more personal item friendly. And if you have any ideas for other roundup videos that you'd like to see, definitely let me know about those as well. And I want to thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.